There you go. So as we breathe in, breathe out. So we step into a new year. And we also step into a new era. The era of online. Individuals and businesses are now jumping onto multiple platforms in an effort to be seen, heard, and experienced by their ideal audience. But how do you stand out in a noisy online world? Naomi Garrick, the PR chick, walks us through it in this segment. Naomi, good morning.
Hi, Naomi. Morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Awesome.
All right, so before we started, I was talking to you about your book and
the 10 pages that you used out of the book Xtra.
All right. That's why I don't.
At least it's a start. At least you started.
At least you started.
See, that's
Okay,
why
all right, take it
it's
away.
all right,
Take
man.
it away. No,
No,
you had a burning question, so take it away first,
I
Xtra.
feel bad.
It's okay, you can continue after the
All right.
10 pages, so keep it going.
All right, anyway, so lately, a lot of things have gone online, and you see new apps popping up. I think last week we spoke about an app called Clubhouse. How do people now not get distracted or not have their products competing in the noise?
So you know what? The thing is, one of the things that came out of this year with COVID-19 and people being forced to stay at home and businesses having employees at home is that we all had to jump online really, really quickly. But you also realize that the online space is so crowded because everybody is there. So how do you stand out in that space? And it starts first by trying to understand, why am I here in the first place? Why do I actually need to be online? What do I have to say? Who am I trying to attract? And I think you have to start there first, because people can get really bogged down with all of these platforms. You mentioned Clubhouse. I'm a member of Clubhouse. I haven't really used it yet because I'm still trying to learn the platform to even see if it's relevant to what I do.
Right.
But what happens a lot of times is that everybody's jumping online. So you're trying everything and then you feel overwhelmed because you're running 6 different profiles on multiple platforms. And there's no real focus or strategy as to why you're in that space. And so it's really important to start just with that question. Why do I need to be online? And then, who needs to hear what I have to say?
Right.
What am I going to actually speak about? So you need to start thinking about what we call in marketing your brand avatar. So that's the person whose problems you solve. So you start first by really getting that clarity on your own brand.
Okay.
So you need to understand who you are, what you bring to the table, what knowledge and expertise you have to share with your audience. What is that unique problem that you solve for them? Sorry, go ahead.
No, continue. And then, continue and then I intervene.
And then when you know what it is that you have to say and the value that you're bringing to the space, then you need to identify who actually needs to hear what I have to say. Who is that person that needs my service? And then you start to think about, okay, so where do these people live online? Because my audience may actually not be on Instagram, but that's the platform I'm using. They may actually be on LinkedIn or Clubhouse or TikTok.
Jesus.
Or Facebook.
Or
Twitter.
Or anywhere.
So many platforms, Naomi. You mentioned the why, you mentioned the relevance, and kind of tapping into your brand avatar.
Yes.
So what is that golden rule? What is that key to creating your personal brand? I know you mentioned the why, and sometimes you ask yourself why, and you're still asking yourself why, because you're like,
and I'll ask myself why every
I'm
day.
just here because maybe I just want to save the username until it becomes relevant to me. You know, sometimes that happens too.
Yeah, I'm a friend.
I'm a friend. That's another one. Well, the why right now is because
it's trending.
I see everybody talking about it, so let me just go and see. You know, so what's that linchpin? What's that golden rule that we need to always consider?
So for me, I actually teach this model that I call the CVC model. So it's clarity, value, and communication. So it starts first again with getting clarity on who you are, what's important to you, what your values are, what brings you joy, what do you like to talk about naturally. So you have to start there first. Just who are you as an individual and the things that appeal to you. And then the second step is value. You have to understand what your unique value is. What are you bringing to any space? So it's almost like if you go into a family dinner and you're known for bringing this thing always because it's the best, you have to kind of think of the online space like that too.
Okay.
What is it that you want to be known for? So when someone hears your name or they see your image pop up on any of these platforms, they immediately think something. So for example, for me, I want to be known as the PR chick, right?
Right.
So I use that on everything. You see Naomi, the PR chick. I use specific brand colors. So when you see this hot pink, you think of my brand. And I use PR chick on everything, on whether it's an online course, whether it's a book, whether a speaking engagement, you'll see that and the brand together all the time. So I want to be known as the PR chick, and that's why I try to position myself in any space that I enter. But on the online world, you have to really try and figure out what that thing is that you're going to be known for. So people are already speaking about you before you even enter the chat, right? But about the right things, the things that matter to you and your brand. And then the last part is communication. You have to figure out what it is you're trying to communicate and where these people are so that you can reach your ideal audience. We're not out there for everybody. You have to try and figure out, why would someone want to come to me? So even in the world of influencers, for example, anybody can be an influencer. That's the reality. We have micro influencers, we have macro influencers. But there are influencers that people will target specifically because they attract or speak to a specific audience.
Right.
Or because when you think of that influencer, you think of specific things. So you want to align your brand with that. We've seen situations where there are influencers with hundreds of thousands of followers, but there is no impact. So when they're aligned with a brand that they think will do well, there actually isn't the engagement they're anticipating because it's not authentic.
Fitting, it's not matching up.
It doesn't match.
I think probably that boils down to the fact that you really can't be everything to everybody.
Yeah,
you can't be everything to everybody.
I didn't have the particular buzz where them are look for. But,
right. So someone could be super famous or super popular, but maybe not popular for my brand.
Yeah.
Right.
Naomi, you ever been on an old country bus?
Yes.
All
Why?
Right. And you see how crowded it is? That's how I feel about the social space.
Listen, and it's only going to get more crowded. That's the reality of the world that we live in right now. So now is really a great time to reflect on, how do you want to be seen in that online space? How do you think you can make an impact? What is your brand voice about? What are the things that you want people to think about when they hear or see you? And the great thing about social media or online is that we have the ability to reach anyone in the entire world.
Right.
We just need to do it the right way. So I found even during this time, LinkedIn is a platform that I teach all my clients. I tell them the value of the platform. But to be honest, in the last 2 years, I wasn't really utilizing it in the same way that I tell my clients to use it.
Okay.
And during the pandemic and we're at home, I decided to start repurposing some of my content that's on Instagram, on LinkedIn, but to also really connect with that audience, because that's really where people go to do business globally. And so when I started positioning myself as an expert in personal branding, but not just to sell a product or a service, just actually providing real knowledge and expertise that would be of value to someone else. So I'm answering questions that people have about the personal branding space. And that led to me being invited to speak on multiple global webinars from Nigeria to Atlanta to Canada to the US with people that I've never met before. It's the first time interacting with me, but because of how I positioned myself as this expert, they wanted to align their events or their brands with me as the expert in personal branding.
It just opened up all these doors for you. Right.
Yeah, so you just have to take the time really to explore the space, understand why you're on it and what your purpose is, and then start purposefully connecting with the people that need to know who you are.
All the time. And that is what is important, and that is the key, just to align yourself, find your purpose, and make it work for you. Naomi, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you guys so much. Oh, yes, so I'm doing this free webinar next week, Tuesday at 7 p.m. You can just follow me at the PR Chick or at Naomi Garrick on Instagram to get more details.
Okay.
It's totally free, and I'm going to walk through 10 steps that will increase your brand visibility in 2021 and beyond.
Oh, awesome stuff there, Naomi. And we see the hot pink. We're loving it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Have a fantastic new year.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you so much, Naomi. Same to you.
Mr. Sir, please complete your workbook.
I will.
Please complete your workbook, Xtra. Now join Naomi Garrick online for all 10 steps to increase your brand visibility. We'll stop right here for anotll quick break. We'll soon come back.
You know what helps with alignment?
What?
Yoga.